All right. Welcome into our first ever, actually, CSA show match. Oh my goodness, give me one moment to get a couple things shifted. I'm here with Nuki. We're here. I'm Rob. Excited to cast the #1 versus #2 team in professional. Nuki, you actually are one of these franchise casters. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen so far from San Antonio this season.
Well, you know, we have to call out Wante the Burger. At least that's what everybody's been calling him in my chat whenever I'm streaming it. So I have to call him that too. Been pretty good performance from professional. I unfortunately missed a couple of streams recently, which is a little frustrating. But thankfully, amateurs kept me up to date. There was some great plays that came from professional actually recently. I think it was the Sunday before last. And I mean, professional, which one's the first? Hold on a second. Who's in the top?
That is a good question. I actually have to check that myself. Currently, I do have it up. First place right now is San Antonio Stallions at 6-0. Second is Rochester Renegades. They have an 18-8 record for San Antonio and 16-7 for Rochester. I am hearing that San Antonio is actually having an issue with a player showing up that somehow we didn't know until 7 minutes after the match.
That's good.
Yeah, so I will be talking to them right now.
Okay. I mean, I can fill the dead space as we figure out if we're gonna have this professional teams play. We got to make sure that these teams play. I know that they were excited to play up against each other, and when they heard that their rematch was gonna get streamed for CSA, I know they were excited. So it would it'd be a bummer for them not to make it.
Yeah, absolutely, especially considering that apparently their third is on Rainbow Six Siege after agreeing to play at this time several hours ago. So if we want to make fun of that guy, we can. But I mean, here we are. Unfortunately, we're just gonna have to yap a little bit about these teams as we wait to hear what's going on. We're going to give them until 7:15 before we are going to award forfeit wins one by one in this moment for Rochester.
That's gonna be it's quite an interesting situation. So it's from my franchise, huh?
Unfortunately, yeah. So it says apparently they are joining with a sub. They're going to get this in as soon as they can.
Okay.
I am going to let them know that if they do want to sub the other guy back in, they're totally welcome to. They just have to at least play one game with their first that they're subbing in.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. That's the what is it, the rule for subbins? If you're a free agent, you play. You gotta make sure you get your opportunity to play. So we want to make sure you have that opportunity to play on stream, especially if you get subbed in. So that one match, it's your chance. Show your skill.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say it's a little bit unfortunate that for our show match format, we are going to be stuck having a sub. It's okay though. You know, top two teams, they can make it work. Their third is asleep or on Rainbow Six Siege. I am hearing different things from different people over in that organization. But, you know, that just means that this San Antonio team's going to have their work cut out for them. They are #1 right now, and they're looking to defend that against the #2 team. And I mean, if you are really number one, imagine that what you get saying, oh my goodness, we beat you guys with a sub. We didn't even have our starting lineup. Imagine where we would be if we did. So it's exciting, gives them a chance to really make a statement. And I mean, it looks like the players are ready. If we want to head over to that game, I think we are set to get this underway.
Yeah.
Oh,
the lobby.
What? Lizzie is not in the lobby. Production, we need to get in here. Are you on Rocket League? It says you're not on Rocket League. Can we get the, well, perfect. I guess this game is going to be 10 seconds under. I did not know that you needed that. Give us just a moment. Nothing's happened so far in the first 15 seconds, so we're vibing on that end. Perfect. Well, let me get an invite and get you in here. Welcome in, though. You know, we're doing our best. First time doing this, season 1, first show match. Appreciate all of the support. Thanks for dealing with the scuffed aspect of it. 30 seconds in, still no goals, no crazy saves yet. So yeah, you are in the game. So yeah, just hit if you hit that Rocket League button, it should go straight to Rocket League, and our stream should be good. As Fighter Bet looks for a flip reset, doesn't get it. Still 0-0 in the first minute. Bear with us as we look to again get everything working for you. And here we are. If we want to, all right, we got San Antonio and Rochester.
Saved by the keeper.
As a great shot from Blasky and a great save from Wante comes in. Game audio is a little bit too loud if we're able to turn that down. Oh, subbing up a tier on your birthday is fun. Hopefully he can make a little bit of a statement for himself. I know. Oh, it's a great shot from Blasky, and Huda makes a great save. I know he's excited. He's used to playing in higher level lobbies. He's friends with Wante. So I'm not really expecting him to be too out of place in this lobby. And if they're able to take this with Brick as their sub, I think they will really make a statement about why they're number one and will continue to be that moving forward. Is the game audio better, chat? Let us know, please, as you are a measure as Hude finds the back of the net. Audio is not better, they say. Our producer... They literally cannot hear, they say. So they can't hear us talk.
Okay. No, they should be able to. Everything
Oh, it's better.
okay.
They say it's better now.
Yeah, as long as the game volume level stays just a little bit lower, we should be good.
Perfect.
Also, we might disable camera shake. As you can tell, this was impromptu. This was a situation we just want to make sure they were going to have an opportunity to get streamed.
Oh,
Blasky. Nice.
Finding the back of the net on a little bit of an awkward play. I think that's actually going to be a pool shot of Fighter Vet into Hude, into the back of the net. And that's going to be the equalizer at just about halftime. Looks like we finally got all of our settings right, everything working, and excited to, you know, get this series underway with all of the tools that we wanted.
And I wish I could be up to date a little bit quicker. I am having to have to go off CSA back post. I'll join in on the second matchup, and I'll be able to keep up to date with this. But I mean, right now, 1-1, 2 minutes left. It seems to be almost anybody's game right now. Of course, good plays coming from both teams. Hude making that awesome shot. Blasky coming out. Rob, who do you think's going to take this? We didn't have an opportunity to do predictions because games kind of got into it a little quick there.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say I think that Rochester will, just because they have their full lineup, and it's tough to come out firing against. It's tough to come out firing against a top 2 team, one that you know is your equal when you're firing on all cylinders, and make a substitution and try to keep up that same strength and momentum. But I mean, it looks like they're doing that. The only goal right now for Rochester was that awkward own goal, and I mean, other than that, like San Antonio's been on the offensive. They would be up 1 without it, and Wante with 4 saves, Hude with 4 shots, kind of sharing this offensive and defensive load.
And I think my player to watch on Rochester is going to be Fighter Vet as he puts one into the net. He's been the offense, he's been the defense for this team when I've seen him play, and he's showing it here. A nice shot sinked into the bottom.
Yeah, someone who I know people are excited about being in professional, 1680 Sal, arguably too low as he's been the leader of this team. Performing, hitting clips left and right, kind of, and I mean, putting his team up front. And the number 2 is Wante! Makes another unbelievable save, keeping his team alive. But now, I mean, hey, San Antonio is going to need something quick. 50 seconds left on their game 1 life.
Rochester just needs to hold off San Antonio, though. Just keep the defense. They'll actually seal game 1, take game 1 in the series. Of course, it's a best of 5, so at any point in time, San Antonio can have an opportunity to come back, but they need to make a goal now, or else it's going to end up coming down to...
And the two-headed monster
nice.
of Wante and Hude are doing just that. Wante taking it all the way himself off the crossbar. Hude off the crossbar himself as well, finds the back of the net, and that's going to be a 2-2 game with 30 seconds left. And happily, we get Nuki in here for some live commentary, as opposed to a little bit of scuffed a couple seconds late. Happy to have you in here finally, man. That's on me with the info, yeah.
No, you're good. Oh, Blasky! Nice angle coming off the backboard there. Great shot. That was a good play. Absolutely had a great read.
Confusion in the corner there from Wante and Brick. Not sure on who's going to go. Maybe a little bit of problems with communication. You know, this team doesn't have the chemistry built up like Rochester does, and it seems to be the difference right now. Especially
That's a great point. Yeah, with Brick being a sub, it's less about individual skill, right? Because the first round pick of the tier below is usually pretty similar to the third round pick of the tier above. Where it really makes a difference is just the amount of games and hours you have competing with each other. As Wante sends it off the backboard, could be a tie again. It's still up. Brick unable to find the equalizer. And I mean, this is about as tight as you can get. Rochester does sneak away with game 1, but that's close. And I mean, if you are San Antonio, right, you have Hude firing on all cylinders on offense, 7 shots, 2 goals. You got Wante, 5 saves. Brick, if he's able to find his way into this team, if he can find his footing, I know I called Rochester at the beginning, but I might have to switch that prediction as San Antonio's looks really good.
It's going to be a tight matchup. And Brick, we can't leave him out. I mean, had 1 save, had a shot. Their defense and, you know, offense rotations were still good. I think it's, like you said, getting their foot in the door, sitting comfortable with the rest of the team, especially since Hude and Wante, they've been playing. They've already had plenty of match days behind their belt. Their chemistry's already there. It's now Brick's turn to work with them. I feel like they could take it. Rochester, yeah, they took game 1. San Antonio, I know my boys, they're out for blood. And if anything, I always see it whenever it comes down to a tight matchup.
Yeah, and I think that the thing to watch is exactly what Condra brought up. That defensive communication. Other than that 1 lapse between Brick and I believe it was Hude in their corner, it was about as close as it could be. It was really well done. And with that, we are getting game 2 underway.
And I think on offense, the player to watch is Wante, and if he can create those opportunities earlier in the game that we were seeing for Hude, then I think San Antonio has a real chance to not just win, but blow out one of these games with like a 5-1 lead, for instance.
Oh, and Brick on his birthday, feeling confident, subbing up, gets a touchdown field to Wante, nothing coming of it, and Fighter Vet now leaves Hude on 0 boost on his own back wall. Blasky looking for a double. Hude does escape. And I mean, I think, again, like you said, and name of the game today is communication, right? If you can all 3 be on the same page. Unfortunately, all 3 here from San Antonio in the same corner. That is not what I mean by same page. Normally that would mean different spots. And I think that's going to be the difference, right? If whichever team is able to really work together, I think is going to be the one taking this. And that means San Antonio has got their work cut out for them.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You do throw in a player that hasn't played with 2 players that have played a lot. and working together, chemistry, and communication, like you're pointing out, is going to be key for this. Right now, though, Blaski have an opportunity for a center straight across. J-Bay there for an opportunity, and nice shot comes out from J-Bay. What a play already. Blaski riding it up to the right corner, sees their teammate J-Bay already reading what Blaski's doing, there for the opportunity, punches it in. That puts Rochester up already over San Antonio. So San Antonio's already got their work cut out for them. They are already down 1 full game in the series, and they're already down 1 goal in the first minute and 15 seconds. And that's Brick, though. That is Brick, though.
I mean, anything to get you going, right? Especially if you're subbing up, you really are looking to get that energy, to feel like you're in the zone. Something can be said for feeling like, oh, maybe I don't belong. Oh, I lost the first game. I made one mistake. Do I belong here? And a goal, regardless, applying pressure on the net, it gives you almost that mental checkbox of, okay, I'm here. I got mine. As Wante with a great outplay pass too. I think that might be the start of Brick playing a little bit more confident as he gets a nice 50 mid for Hude. And if just as I'm speaking about it, we might see Brick do the takeover. Pun intended with his GM.
And I think there's different types of team plays. I think Renegades is looking for more for infield passes, more of that traditional team play, while the Stallions are really showing their mechanical brilliance, their solo play potential that lead to creations of space and allow their teammates to follow it up with more solo play creation, which eventually leads to a goal. Just 2 different types of team play coming out.
That's a really good point. And I think you're 100% correct as J-Bay finds the back of the net again. I mean, it's exactly what you're talking about, right? Fighter Vet getting the outplay, pass 2 with a great reset, and J-Bay just right there immediately giving Wante no time to breathe, no time to recover, and just like that, we're equalized about 2 minutes in again.
What we needed to see from San Antonio, especially since Rochester's coming out powerful and already swinging. You got 3 minutes left on the clock, and it being tied up. It's almost anybody's game. And right now, it seems like both teams are taking a little bit of a step back, playing a little bit offensively. An unfortunate redirect from Hude sends it right towards their net. And now Rochester has an opportunity. Oh, nope, sent out by
could be a
Brick.
counterattack.
Great clear. Great clear from Brick. Now it's Wante over to Brick.
Oh,
Slot
my.
down over to Blaski. What a save from Blaski. San Antonio right now pumping on all cylinders. And now we just got to see them have another opportunity for a shot. Rob and Conjure right now, you two are on the desk. You're seeing this unfold in front of your eyes as well. It's been a close game in both sets of instances. And I know, Rob, you said you were swapping maybe from Rochester to San Antonio. Has your thought process changed again?
Well, I think what's really interesting is a great passing play almost comes out here for San Antonio, is that we've seen Wante take a step back on the scoreboard and almost enable Brick. I think Wante in game 1 was doing a lot, which was very good. He's a very good player. He's able to do a lot. But this game, I think we've seen him shift his focus to enabling his team. And so instead of having 6 saves and all the points in the world, he's doing what he can to let Brick and Hude create that offense, fill the space, and cover it. So I'm not sure. I think this can be extremely close as a great pass comes in again. No one really at the end of it, and I think I still lean Rochester as they do go up by 1 on a great beat from Fighter Vet. I mean, I have to. They just seem a little bit more solid. Their support is there, just a beat faster time and time again. It's that chemistry, the communication we talked about. And if you are San Antonio, you're staring down the barrel of a 0-2 deficit in a best of 5. So this is as close to a must-win game as it gets for you in this best-of-5 series.
And I think we've really seen Brick level up his game during specifically game 2, but also a player who, as well as upped his game, was J-Bay. Last time he didn't have many shots, he didn't have many goals, or any goals rather, he didn't have any assists. I don't think he had any saves, but this game he's really stepped it up. He's really providing a lot of value to his team, even though I think the Stallions are playing a better game than they did game 1. I think J-Bay has really felt his way into the series quite nicely.
Oh, that's Brick! Oh my goodness, I wanted the birthday double so bad for him.
This close,
Almost,
man.
yeah.
So many opportunities for Brick here. You can't keep letting him have these because, as his name implies, he slots those.
Eventually. Oh, in his own net, perhaps. Happy birthday. Looking for some boost. Got to make something happen. And we've seen the pressure, right? It just has to convert to a goal. They've had shot after shot, and now this might be the opportunity as two Rochester players are up in the air in front of the net. Fighter Vet's going to be alone as last. Could turn into a counter-attacking opportunity. Brick now brings it downfield, looks for another touch. Not quite on the same page as his teammate Hude. Does get a 50 though. 13 seconds now. Hude gonna have to do it himself. Gets it past one. Gets it past two. Could be somebody mid. Wante with a backflip. Unfortunately leaves Brick all alone. And now we're going to the sidewall. 0 seconds left on the clock. Wante keeps it up. Does he get the bounce he needs? He does. Fighter Vet looks to get it out. Does just that. Spikes it. Drop shot player perhaps. And that's going to be a 2-0 lead for Rochester. And I mean, one goal both times is, again, as close as you can get. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Like, it's as close and competitive as it can be. 6 shots to 6 shots, 3 saves to 2 saves, 2 goals to 3 goals. But as you talked about it earlier, Kandra, right? The difference is in the assists. Rochester, 3 goals, 3 assists, playing as a team, as a unit, supporting each other with speed and pace. And San Antonio opting for more of that solo play route. I love Brick as much as the next guy, but I think if he's going to be taking out of 5 out of 6 shots on your team against a team like Rochester, the best team in a tier above him, I don't know if that's your recipe for victory. I like that Wante tried to get his team a little bit more involved, but I would also like to see Wante grab this game by the horns and take it himself.
And I feel that
I would love to see
a lot of
that.
the shot.
Go
A lot
ahead,
of the
Kandra,
shots
you're good.
aren't being distributed. While on Rochester, we saw an even distribution of the shots, right? I believe also in game 1, every player on Rochester had 2 or more shots, while while with the Stallions, we can continuously see a lot of players aren't getting shots that they would normally get on their roster because they're having a lot less pressure than they would usually. I feel like that's the difference, is where heavily relies on one player to take great shots, while in Rochester, you just need all the players to play continuously okay to good in their system.
Yeah. I think the point you're making is that there's different ways to win Rocket League, and some are more repeatable than others. I think that if you asked this San Antonio team to play against a really high-level team, like 1900 plus, right? I would almost give them a better chance than Rochester because of their solo playability, as Hude shows us exactly that. Almost finding the net with a reset. However, this Rochester team just plays such as a unit. They're able to repeatedly apply pressure, repeatedly get shots, repeatedly make saves because they're rotating so well together. And it just makes it so much easier. Eventually there'll be a space and there'll be someone on Rochester to capitalize. However, on San Antonio, we've seen already a minute in, 2 flip resets from Hude. However, now both players back have 0 boost, and it's an open net. Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same thing over and over. Great solo play, great defense from Rochester, and then they score on a counterattack with a boost advantage.
Right now, San Antonio, they're working together. I'm seeing Wante and Hude put a lot of plays together, and Brick is coming out with a lot of their solo plays and is absolutely blowing us away.
Oh my goodness.
Lasky, though, coming in with an opportunity, capitalizing on a little bit of an awkward bounce off of the ceiling, but it was kind of a pinch between Fighter Vet and Brick. Gave them the shot. Lasky was there. They saw what they needed to do, put it into the back of the net. That puts Rochester up now 2-0. 3 minutes and 43 seconds left. San Antonio needs to keep working together. Wante and Hude. Wante almost with an unfortunate ping.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the name of the game, right? These solo plays are so close, but just not enough, as Fighter Vet with a phenomenal flick into J-Bay. Capitalizes on that again, and team play after team play. Rinse and repeat for this Rochester Renegades team. Finding the back of the net again. Last game, 3 goals, 3 assists for their team. This game, 3 goals, 3 assists again. Just a monster of a unit, a 3-headed demon, Cerberus, if you will, guarding this professional tier.
And you start to wonder about the mentality of the Stallions. You lose 2 close games at the start, and then you see a couple go off the bar, a couple counterattacks quickly after that as well that lead to goals. You start to wonder if they're mentally out of it. Wante trying to put that one on target, but it just doesn't go.
These are tough shots to ask to beat 3 players. And I know we've been talking about it all series, but that shot from Wante, right, it's applying pressure, but it's not a great shot. You're not beating anyone. That shot from Hude, right, it's kind of rolling the ball to Fighter Vet. And what I want to see is a little bit more control, a little bit more intentionality in using each other from the San Antonio team, because they are extremely talented individual players. I would love to have seen this series with all 3, because even with Brick, it's been a nail biter every single game. I just wonder how they look and how they play if it's a little bit more team oriented with their full lineup. As a phenomenal outplay from Fighter Vet comes through as a great pass from Wante into Brick, back into Wante with a pre-flip, but that's using each other, right? They almost created a goal immediately by playing off and with and for each other. I think that's the recipe for success for them.
I will say, you know, I've had an opportunity to see the whole team play. And I think right now, with the sub being in, Brick almost trying to get there from a pass with Hude, but
Great demo!
what a slot! Hude with a nice angle coming down from the right corner. A pass from Wante, sends it to the backboard. There's a demo that comes out, and it takes Brick out of the play, but it puts the defensive line of Rochester out of position, and it allowed Hude to get a nice angled slot in there. Now, it is a little bit of a climb. They have to make 2 more goals in order to tie it up, 3 more in order to win this and put it into game, what would that be, game 4?
Oh my goodness.
But Lasky was there, another pass from Fighter Vet, and that's what we've been seeing all night from Rochester. We've been seeing a pass from Fighter Vet to Blasky, Blasky to Jay. It's just been chemistry upon chemistry from this team all night.
Yeah, I mean, that's 4 assists on 4 goals. The support really showing, really shining for this Rochester team, working as a unit. Every decision they make is as a team. And this San Antonio team looks good. They're just getting outplayed. I mean, they're playing well individually, they're playing well together, but it's just not quite enough when it's a full, it feels like it's a 3v1 on every single opportunity because of how well this Rochester team is flowing as a unit together, as a group of 3.
And I think there's a bit more nuance in the offense for Rochester here. They love using that backboard, and the difference between the Stallions and Rochester, I feel, is that the Stallions have been putting it on target every opportunity. Rochester's willing to take that time, be patient with it, put it off the backboard a couple times to really give themselves the best opportunity for the shot. They're patient with playing on the offensive side of the ball, which I think is really important versus the Stallions team, because they love to pre-jump in net.
That's a really great point. I think that speaks to using each other. It speaks not just to those solo plays looking to compete. As Fighter Vet finds almost the back of the net off the crossbar, does end up capitalizing. That's another assisted goal, another infield pass from Rochester. Great lob in from J-Bay. Great touch from Fighter Vet to get it on target. Bar down or in, same thing, doesn't matter. Finds the back of the net, and that's going to be the dagger, right? 4 goals in 32 seconds. Maybe I'm a caster curse, who knows? I would like that. I like more Rocket League as, oh my God, another infield pass, this time from Blasky to Fighter Vet instead of J-Bay to Fighter Vet, lobbing into the back corner. I mean, you look at this game, Fighter Vet, 3 goals, 3 assists. Blasky, 2 goals, 2 assists. And J-Bay, 1 goal, 1 assist. All of them involved everywhere. On defense, on offense, has another pinch pass infield comes from Blasky to J-Bay, or J-Bay to Blasky, pardon me. And Wante's going to be leaving this match with 20 seconds left. I mean, what an unbelievable performance from this Rochester Renegade squad.
I think the scene
down to his own country.
Yeah, taking a trip to Brazil.
I was gonna say San Antonio tonight. I think was just thrown off. I mean, we had a thrown off, you know, a situation where the third player didn't show up, and nothing against the sub, but I do believe that the whole team was rattled. I do think that Wante and Hude, they were a little bit not in the most locked in state that they would have been in had they went in with the full team, went in fully prepared too. I feel like we would have saw normally what I do see in the plays, which would have been a lot of team pass plays, a little bit more team chemistry. And I feel like tonight it was rough for them to find that team chemistry, being off the rocker a little bit. But I will say, you know, they had a great first 2 games. I think Rochester had a great momentum going for them. I mean, they took the first game, they took the second game, and then the third game after that, it was just, like you said, chemistry was insane. Everybody on that field, everybody on that team played with each other, and it worked out really, really well for them.
You know what? I, for one, would be a big fan of watching. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. Maybe we get a show match, not counting for the league, but I bet San Antonio would love to try to get their get back with their full roster. I bet Rochester would be interested in saying this was not a fluke. We are just this good. And so, you know, let us know in chat if you're interested in potentially a San Antonio Rochester show match that isn't in the league, but just to, like, you know, let them kind of see what they got, right? Give them another chance to show what they can do.
Gotta hash that out.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'm gonna see if I can get that set up. Thank you all for coming in to support this show match between San Antonio and Rochester. Not technically just a show match; it was a league match.
It was technically on. It was technically on the weeknight match. I mean,
yeah,
it was a scheduled game.
It was, and yeah, thank you for coming in to support. It's been Rob, it's been Nuki, it's been Kandra, it's been Blizzy producing. God bless his soul. And anyone have anything else to say before we wrap it up?
Speak.
Doesn't sound like we do. So
Nope.
Thank you again for coming in. Check out our Twitch, check out our Discord, check out our website, our coffee. Come say what's up, come hang out, get some coaching, play some Rocket League. Until next time, it's been Rob, it's been CSA, it's been a pleasure. Have a tremendous rest of your evening, and thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys. See y'all.
Okay, so thank you for bearing with us. I meant to do this immediately after the match, but sometimes things slip my mind. So thank you for bearing with us. With me on the desk now, we actually have the winning captain from Rochester, a man that I had the pleasure of meeting at the MCS LAN, who has now been promoted in there. Congratulations. Blasky himself. Hello. How are we doing today, man? How was that series?
Oh, it was fantastic. We had a lot of fun with it. Played really well, so pretty happy with how it went.
So first question is, do you think that it is the same result if they have, say, Corey instead of Brick?
It's toxic to say yes.
Is
So
it?
I'll say that they get one game.
Okay. So then my next question is, would you and Rochester be interested in potentially running this back against their full roster as a show match? Not counting for league record, but maybe for some content. Let San Antonio give a chance. Say, hey man, we really deserve that #1 spot. We would have had you with our starter, and give you guys a chance to say, no, we're #1 for a reason. We're going to shut you down either way.
I mean, yeah, our team's always willing to do a little scrim thing on the side. It's fine. It'll be a
Cool.
warm up or something. So.
Oh, because it's not serious enough for a match. Interesting. A lot of confidence coming out. So one of the big differences that we saw in gameplay tonight was how well that you, the Rochester Renegades, worked as a unit, as a team. Is that something that you all put emphasis on? The infield passes, the speed of the support? Walk me through how you got to outplay them so well through that process.
Yeah, 100%. For us, it's all about controlling the game and controlling just where the ball's going, obviously. That's how you win. So if you keep the ball away from them, you win. The best way to do that is just pass it to each other back and forth. I mean, we saw a couple goals at the end there where it was just back-to-back passes. And it was
beautiful stuff, yeah.
And we practice that regularly. A lot of people that scrim us will know that we hit that shot a lot. I mean, I just put an edit out in Discord where we hit that exact same shot.
I was about to bring that up. Are we gonna get another edit where San Antonio's gonna have him, blah blah blah, and then it cuts into some hard music and it's just a bunch of passing plays from the three of you?
The thing is, we don't attack people back if they don't attack us first.
Okay.
So they're chill on in that regard, unless they
nice.
talk trash for somewhere I just don't see. But we should be good in that. But there was that edit at the start. They said free win. We had to put it together.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So now that was a sweep, despite being down by 4 to San Antonio, you actually have sole possession of first place in professional, getting 5 points while San Antonio gets 0. So now you have a tied record at 6-1, but up 31-30 in points. How's that feel being #1 right now? Especially, I mean, no one really knew who Fighter Vet was coming in. I know a lot of MCS people were familiar with you and J-Bay, obviously, but even I didn't know who Fighter Vet was and how impressive the three of you would look as a unit. Were you expecting this from day one? Did you see something that nobody else did?
yeah. So actually, before the season started, a little bit of a leak here. Power told me, hey, no matter what, I'm drafting you. So
Mhm.
who do you want?
Nice.
And so naturally, I went, well, if you're gonna reach for me, you might as well reach for J-Bay.
The goats.
You
He
know,
ended up
we got a lot of
trading
chem.
to have 2 picks to guarantee having the 2 of you as well early in the second. I
Yeah.
remember this. Mhm.
And he had us scout for a couple hours before the stream, for the draft. And me and JB went through replays of like the next 15, 20 players that are kind of
Yeah.
within that range. We watched about 2 to 3 replays of each player, went through their tracker, and we settled. And we were like, it's either vet or it's a whole tier down in terms of
Nice.
everyone else around him. We were like, this guy is a monster. We need him. Luckily, he fell to us, and I mean, it's been great ever since. I mean, we're number 1 seed. It is what it is. We would have not have lost a game probably if we didn't have to sub out JP once because his power got knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
So-
See, it's interesting you say that because one of the people who helped us cast today is Kandra, and his franchise is the Atlanta Aces, which I believe is your 1 loss this season, correct?
Yeah.
That was without JB?
Yep. So his power got knocked out
Interesting.
like night before the game. And so we just had to muster up a sub last second. And so like shout out Thailand's for showing up, but
Mhm.
I mean, you saw the passing plays, you saw how we normally are. We didn't get to incorporate that into our 1 loss,
Yeah.
which that, I mean, the Aces played great, but I mean,
what San Antonio is probably saying the exact same thing right now.
there's a difference between losing your 3rd man and your 2nd
Oh,
man, but yeah.
okay, yes, sir. All right. Well, so is there anything else that you would like to say to any of the viewers, any of the CSA, me, Kandra, Blizzy, Nuki, anything that you want to get out? Maybe you should give a shout out to Power for drafting in such an incredible professional team. Anything before we wrap up this interview?
Yeah, shout out Power. Him, Bob, and actually Fighter Vet are about to play our superstar match in like right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Hopefully they get like their 2nd win for superstar.
No, you're really fighting for that number 1 versus number 16 match after this week. Just looking to take
Yeah.
down your GM and friend and Power. Yeah, awesome, man. Well, if that's all from you, it's been wonderful. Thank you for hopping on here. We're looking to do more of these show matches, more of these post-game interviews. We obviously can't on Sundays because of our back post program. Tune into it. But if you end up rescheduling a match and you want it casted and it's on a regular day, just feel free to message me. Honestly, open a ticket or ping me in your ticket if you're looking to get it casted, especially matches between 2 top 5 teams. This is the first time we've had the pleasure and opportunity of doing something like this. It was a blast. I loved it. I loved watching you guys play. Blasky, that was really fun. I loved watching my friends on the other side play. It was really cool. It was really entertaining. Hopefully next time, fingers crossed, we get all 6 starters. But thank you for coming in for the interview. Thanks for showing up and playing. And it was really quite wonderful having you and the match as well. So thank you, everybody. And with that, Blasky, if you'd like to say your goodbyes, I'm heading out of here.
Yeah, thank you. And shout out Rainbow Six Siege for coming in clutch today.
For where their 3rd was, that is so funny. That's such a funny shout. All right, word. Anyways, gentlemen and gentle ladies, thank you for tuning in. Have a tremendous rest of your night. Until next time, it's been Rob, it's been Blasky, Blizzy, CSA, and have a great one.
Dropping that shit on the headline.